Hey y'all, it's Shannon. Today I want to talk to you about early education. As you're preparing for the future of your children, have you considered education? Have you thought about how you're going to enroll them maybe into a private school or even public school? And you're probably thinking 3 years old, you're going to enroll them into pre-K. Education at a young age helps build a foundation for a love of learning. Early education plays an important role for the ages of birth to 5 years old. That's right. From the time you have your child, it is important to start educating them to 5 years old. And that's just from reading books and singing songs and bonding and connecting with your child. These are all things that play a role in early education. This helps children meet their milestones, help with their development, and helps make connections in the children's brain. Here, I have this to show you. This is the importance of early education. As you can see, there's 2 casetakers and some children. From Johns Hopkins University, a child's early years lays the foundation for all that is to come. That means everything in their early years is what's going to prepare them through elementary school, middle school, high school. For those first 5 years of their life, it is very crucial. According to Patrina Sherry, from infancy to kindergarten, children undergo an unimaginable amount of growth and development. By the time they walk through the doors of kindergarten classroom, their brain has already developed 90% of its capacity. That means it's already started making connections. It's learned to have relationships. It's learned math. It's learned numbers, colors. It's learned sensory skills that they need to develop for everyday life. All of those things they need to prepare them for kindergarten and for just the foundation of the love of learning. So today I'm going to show you some samples. Here in this picture is some infants we see right now learning to sit up, grasp toys, and socialize. Right here, they're learning a connection. They're learning how to pick up the toys. They're learning to switch their hands. All of these things build up to bigger things, like fine motor skills. Right here are toddlers in a preschool setting. They're learning to make relationships. They're learning to bond. They're learning to play with other children. Look at here. They're stacking blocks. They're speaking. That teacher may be singing to them. All of these things is learning. It's learning. It's teaching them. It's preparing them. Right here, that's preparing them to sit down and sit with their teacher and learn all the things that they'll need for when they prepare themselves for kindergarten. In this slide, this is preschoolers, probably about the ages of 3 to 5 years old. This is circle time. This is what circle time looks. These are children raising their hands to ask questions, to learn. They're learning calendar, letters, numbers, stories, songs, the Pledge of Allegiance, all of these things that help enhance their love of learning. That's why early education is so important. Look at these examples of learning. Here's another example of learning. They are learning about the human body and how it works. And these children are no more than 5 years old. Before they even hit kindergarten, they've already known what the body's all about, how it works, all of these things. It is crucial for children to be educated at an early age. Starting young with education not only helps with development, connections, and prepares for kindergarten, it's an imperative for the children to have a solid foundation for learning and overall within their early years of life. Here's an example. We can see children sitting down, sorting colored animals, and we're thinking to ourselves, oh, they're coloring, or they're having these colored sorted animals. Just by sorting those animals, they're learning animal groups. They're learning by colors, which animals go in colors. The teacher may have them count. They're sharing a bucket of animals with children, sharing how to do it. They're learning to sit in a chair, to sit for timed activities. They're learning to count them, sort them, add them. Maybe 5 blue bears plus 3 blue bears equals 8 blue bears. Now they're learning math, simple math. All of these things are crucial nowadays. Kindergarteners aren't just expected to come to school. They now have expectations of learning to write their name, already learned to have written their name, to know what their name looks like, how to spell their name, how to recognize their name, letters, colors. They need to know numbers, shapes. They need to know months of the year. All of these things that are crucial in the early stages of their life when they're young and they're frail. And so the best thing to do is to educate them. Start teaching them, getting them ready, preparing them for a love of learning. So that way, when they're loving learning so much and they hit elementary school, they love school so much that they transition well. They get in there. They love it. They want to learn. They want to be there. You don't have behavior issues because they already know what the expectations are. Also, some of the things that is done in early education that also helps them when they've hit the elementary years is hitting not just developments and milestones, is to actually strengthen some of their motor skills. And one of the big things that is done in early education is strengthening their fine motor skills. So when we think fine motor, we think maybe like pinching or grasping. All of those things of pinching and grasping are ways for them to strengthen so they can cut paper with scissors. They can hold a pencil and write their name. They can trace their name. They can trace shapes. They can color. They can draw. So next time, maybe when you see your child at daycare picking up cotton balls with tweezers, putting them in a bucket, you might think, oh, that's kind of silly. No, that's ways for them to grasp and for them to strengthen their pincher grasp that'll help them later on. I have 18 plus years of education, early education. I've been teaching children since 18 years old. And I have learned to prepare them for kindergarten. And I think very strongly, very, very strongly, that it's important for children. I tell parents when I do tours at daycares, many times I've owned 2 of my own schools, I've told them that is important and crucial, not only just for learning, but socializing, learning to socialize, learning to share, learning to be out in a group of children, routines. They're developing all of these things. And also, it is crucial at a young age to maybe find any kind of development issues they have so we can strengthen them together and we can get them ready so that not only are they ready to learn, but they're ready to succeed. Here I have a couple of statements from some educators from 2 different parts of Texas that have told me what their feelings and what their concerns are and what they think and opinions of early education. This is from Rachel Callis. She's from Tom Bean, Texas. She's a parent of a 4-year-old. She's an owner of a preschool. And she's an elementary school teacher, and she has 10 plus years of experience working with young children. She said, through the years working with preschoolers, my daughter in my education and early education, I have discovered how important early education is. Early education helps set up the foundations not only in learning academics, but also in a social aspect. A child learns now to relate to others, show sympathy, and show how to compromise and solve disputes between each other. It helps children learn about diversity. And even though we may come from different families and backgrounds or traditions, we're all unique. Not equally, and what is equally important, and to respect each other. These early foundations are vital in a growing civilization and are necessary to be successful in life. Early education provides a child with the first steps in reading, mathematics, and so much more, which establish a strong foundation in learning. We as early educators strive to make learning fun and adventurous so that they become lifelong learners